All right. Hey guys. Today we're going to be doing a tier list of things, or as they say on the East Coast, stuff. First up, we got traffic. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of having to sit on roads for too long. And for a number of reasons, I'm pro public transport as well. Um, And there's nothing more infuriating than when you're trying to get out of a slow lane, but someone's going way too fast, and so you can't get over in time, and then you're just sort of stuck in that lane. And for that reason, I'm going to put it D tier. Um, Hopefully that's self-evident. Next up, we got Ozempic, um, which is a diabetes medication. But a lot of people on TikTok are using it because they feel bad about themselves. And so I think we're gonna I think we're gonna put that at B tier. It would be higher, except for the unintended purposes, and also it's Norwegian. Next up, we got the Peloponnesian War. This one, see, there were a lot of complexities in this war. However, I really wish that the Athens had won, or the Athenians, excuse me. And so for that reason, I'm putting C tier. C tier. Next up, we got Plaque, which in many respects can be similar to tartar in when it comes to the health of your gums and your enamel. Can be painful if left untreated, and it's pretty easily taken care of. However, plaque itself, no bueno. So I'm just going to put that in F tier. Next up, we got St. Kitts and Nevis. Beautiful, beautiful island country. But I'm pretty sure they have a lot of tax loopholes there. And so what would have been S tier is now going to be A tier. Next up, we got Schadenfreude. This is actually, a lot of people give it a bad rap, but honestly, I think that it provides an incredible amount of utility in one's life. And for that reason, I'm also putting that at A tier. Next up, we got One Republic. Back in 2014, they were my favorite band. As I've matured, so has my music taste, but they still remain a favorite in my life. And so I'm going to place them B tier with Ozempic. Next up, we got soft boiled eggs. There is nothing better on a Sunday morning than waking up to one of your parents making you soft boiled eggs. Perfect with toast, perfect without toast. There is nothing that beats soft boiled eggs, except, and I don't take this lightly, it can be a little bit hard to perfect. And for that reason, I'm also putting that in A tier. Next up, we have Steve Wozniak, co-creator of Apple, who was a very influential person when it comes to technological development in the late 20th century. However, he's not even the most famous Steve founder of Apple. And for that reason, he is relegated to C tier, in my opinion. Next up, we have Cheers, the TV show. I cannot adequately describe to you the immense amount of pain that I felt watching this show. There is not one good character, storyline, or even setting. And every time I watch it, I am reminded of why God hates humanity. So we're going to put that in D tier. Next up we have time. Time oftentimes gets a bad rap simply because people don't know how to manage it. However, if you consider that everything that has ever happened is only possible because of time, then you have to give it some credit, as mere existence many people find to be worthwhile. However, the creation of time has allowed the creation of Cheers, and so for that reason, it's going to be in B tier. Next up, we got Mitsubishi Motors. D tier. Next up, we got Occam's Razor. There are a number of ways I could describe this one, but to keep it short, it's basically a way of cutting things down in explanations. We'll put that B tier. And finally, we have lasagna. Now, any person who is vegan or vegetarian or dairy-free lives a life of misery and sorrow. Also gluten-free, sorry. They live a life of misery and sorrow for the sole reason that they cannot frequently consume lasagna as it was meant to be consumed. There is no brighter joy in my life, nor darker pit of despair besides Cheers, when there's no lasagna in my life. And for that reason, lasagna is going to finish off our list at S tier. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.